with Jeff Koinange and Olive Barrows.
Thronged the Kasarani Stadium today to watch the Harambee Stars take on the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Morocco notably has lifted the trophy for CHAN 2 times. So they won with 1-0. And Ryan Ogam was that man who put in that goal in the 42nd minute. We have the man of the match, who was the goalkeeper, and after several there he is, Brian Omondi, and he made several saves. We also have the coach who was celebrated for several technical adjustments following a red card. So a big day for Kenya. Then we have Benny McCarthy, Kenya's coach, the national Harambee Stars coach. So we have lots lined up for you on that game. And guess what? We also have Ayub Abdikadir and Mashirima Kapombe standing by in Homa Bay County. And that is ahead of the Devolution Conference. They have a panel of experts, and they'll tell us what they'll get into after the news stories. And perhaps, Ayub, you can tell me what we can expect?
Well, Olive, good evening from the county of Homa Bay. We are 72 hours before Devolution Conference here hosted in the county of Homa Bay, housing this edition of the conference that will bring together the 47 devolved units here in Homa Bay County. From Roma National Park this evening, Mashirima Kapombe and I have one fundamental question to put to the audience and as well as the panelists, and that is, what's the greatest challenge facing Kenya's young population and what's the remedy? Mashirima Kapombe is now in the midst of the whole-packed audience here in Homa Bay County, and she has the following.
Na bila shaka Ayub, nadhani huu ni umati mkubwa zaidi tushaikuwa nao kwenye town hall yetu ya Citizen, na ikiwa ni miaka 13 ya ugatuzi hapa nchini. Tumeona vituo vya afya vimejengwa, barabara zimejengwa, nafasi za ajira zimezalishwa. Lakini je, matunda haya yamewafaidi vijana? Ndio swali ambalo tutakuwa tunalijibu hapa katika ukumbi wetu baadaye katika taarifa hizi. Kwako Olive.
All right, Mashirima, we look forward to that. I see your audience is all set there as well, ready to delve into matters youth and devolution. All right, let's get into the highlights and then get into those stories.
And again on Monday, it's a block. Trying out something, and a goal here finally from the Harambee Stars of Kenya.
Inching towards the quarterfinals, Kenya registers historic victory over Morocco to maintain top position in Group CHAN tournament.
Tulikuwa hata na groups za WhatsApp, sasa zilikuwa converted, sasa imekuwa sent off badala ya harusi. Tulikuwa hata kumepima nguo ya kwenda harusi hiyo Saturday, hata gari tulikuwa tumelipia.
From wedding party to funeral arrangements, 4 family members die in road accident as the number of deaths in 4 days climbs to 60.
Wasitutishe na blackmail ya one term. Sisi ni watu tuko na akili bwana.
And one-term blackmail. President Ruto declares he will not be intimidated by one-term threats as Gachagua dismisses Kindiki DCI probe call. Countdown to Homa Bay Conference. Hoteliers reap big as the Lake County begins to receive visitors ahead of the Devolution Conference. According to several fans, the tickets were allegedly resold multiple times by unscrupulous individuals who had bought them in bulk. The resulting confusion saw many supporters try to force their way into the stadium, causing a near stampede. The incident comes amid growing concerns over the limited ticket availability and poor crowd management, especially as Kenya continues its impressive run, securing a second victory in the ongoing tournament. Citizen TV's Ben Kirui comes up next.
They were among the thousands of fans who had turned up to watch and support Kenya as it faced Morocco in a highly anticipated clash. But that quickly turned into frustration and outrage as many supporters were denied entry after their tickets were flagged as already scanned. The affected fans say they were duped by individuals who had purchased the tickets in bulk, only to resell the same tickets to multiple unsuspecting buyers.
Wale watu wenye watuuzia ticket bandia bana, wasiuze, wameuza ticket kama 1,000. Sasa ni kuonyesha ticket karibu 10.
Victims of the scam reported paying anywhere between 300 Kenya shillings and 1,000 Kenya shillings for the fake passes, all in a desperate bid to witness the crucial group stage encounter live.
Kwanza ametuuzia moja 300, nikaenda nikatolewa. Tena nikarudi, nikauzia tena ingine fake kama 3. Karibu 1,000 nimeshaenda.
Kuna watu wanaenda wanabuy ticket mingi na watokei game. Ule mtu akona passion ya kukuja kuwatch game apati ticket, anaenda kwa online anapata zishachukuliwa zote sold out. So hiyo tuangalie.
Concerns are now mounting over the unchecked ticket resale market around Kasarani, particularly on match days. Many of those locked out pointed fingers at rogue vendors operating just outside the stadium.
Tumetoka huko Rongai tumekuja hadi hapa. Tunataka kuona Austin na Alpha. Hiyo ndio imetuleta hapa.
As desperation grew, chaos erupted when a section of fans resorted to jumping over the perimeter fence to gain illegal access to the venue. Despite heavy security presence, several individuals managed to breach the stadium from one end, causing a near stampede and raising fresh fears of sanctions from the Confederation of African Football, CAF. The breach comes just days after CAF fined the Football Kenya Federation FKF 2.5 million Kenya shillings for crowd control failures and warned of stricter penalties should similar incidents occur during the ongoing tournament co-hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. Still, the electric atmosphere returned as the national team bus arrived, greeted by jubilant fans who chanted and waved in support. Their faith in Harambee Stars was rewarded with a thrilling performance and a crucial 3-point win over Morocco. With one group match remaining, a showdown against Zambia next Sunday, anticipation is already building. Fans are now urging authorities to streamline online ticketing and clamp down on fraudsters to ensure smooth access to the final group fixture. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Now, away from Chan, from wedding arrangements to funeral arrangements, a family in Miambani, Kitui Central is in shock and disbelief following the tragic loss of their daughter, grandchild and a relative just hours after a dowry ceremony. That was ahead of a wedding that was set for this coming Saturday. 42-year-old Jacqueline Kasau and 3 others lost their lives when the car they were traveling in rolled multiple times at the Kisayani area along the Kitui-Kibwezi Road. Emily Chebet brings us this heart-wrenching story as the nation once again grapples with the rising numbers of death on the roads, now standing at 60 in 4 days.
Tents and chairs still at this compound, silent witnesses to what was a day filled with music, laughter and celebration. Just yesterday, 42-year-old Jacqueline Kasau had danced with joy, surrounded by family and friends as she marked the payment of her dowry, a major step ahead of her upcoming wedding on Saturday. But what was meant to be a joyous celebration of love has ended in unimaginable sorrow. On Sunday, a family in Miambani, Kitui Central is mourning. A bride full of life and hope lost her life hours after leaving her maternal home as she headed back to her matrimonial home.
Tuliachana na wao muda wa saa 1 usiku, wao wakarudi kwao nyumbani Kinyambo. Katika hiyo accident tukampoteza sister-in-law Jacqueline na msichana wake anaitwa Queen na the mother-in-law na mmoja wa relative wao.
My sister is just like a mother to me. Nimesomea mfale nikiwa hapo St. Angelas. Nikifanya kazi saa hii mimi nakuwa na Queen nafanya wote ili masend. Tukiwa na yeye hapo unajua kwa nuko.
42-year-old teacher and the 3 relatives died at Kisayani area along Kitui Kibwezi Road when their personal car rolled several times.
Tulikuwa tunampangia harusi yake kurenew the wedding on Saturday 16th. Tulikuwa hata na groups za WhatsApp sasa zilikuwa converted, sasa imekuwa sent off.
Tulikuwa hata kumepima nguo ya kwenda harusi hiyo Saturday. Hata gari tulikuwa tumelipia ya kwenda. Sasa itakuwa sasa ni mazishi.
This family is the latest victim of the rising road crashes that have claimed 60 people in less than 1 week. 4 more people died in Makueni County in 3 separate accidents involving boda riders that occurred in the Mukah area along Mombasa-Nairobi Highway, bringing the total number of fatalities in Makueni to 8 within 24 hours. Along Nairobi-Maimahiu Road, 2 people, a female adult and a minor, lost their lives last evening when a lorry lost control at the escarpment, colliding with a bus that was heading to Nairobi from Kisii. And from Tana River County, 1 person has been confirmed dead in a road accident involving a vehicle belonging to the Tana River County government at the Maziwa area along Garsen-Hola Highway. A statement from the Office of the Inspector General of Police indicating that the National Police Service is working in collaboration with various state agencies to conduct thorough investigations to determine the causes of the alarming number of road crashes. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV.
Kotombo village in Nyakach, Kisumu County is in mourning after 26 people, most of whom are related, lost their lives in the Friday evening horror crash along the Kisumu-Kakamega Road. Teary relatives are now crisscrossing the village, condoling with their kin, even as they themselves carry the weight of losing their loved ones. Laura Otieno now reports on the impact of the horrific accident that has stripped 2 clans of 26 members.
A heavy cloud hangs over Kotombo village in Nyakach, Kisumu County. Grief-struck residents walking from house to house, condoling with those in mourning. Their faces showing the agony of the calamity that befell 2 clans in this village. The Friday evening accident along the Kisumu-Kakamega Road stripped this village of 26 people. The residents who bid farewell to their kin as they left for burial only 2 days ago, reconciling the reality of yet another round of burials in quick succession.
Baba wangu wakwe wawili ndani, pamoja na familia wengine wengi. Haikuwa jambo rahisi, sababu ujumbe wenyewe nilipoupata, niliambiwa kwamba watu wote wameaga ila tu watu wawili peke yao ndio hawajapoteza maisha yao.
Personally, I've lost my dad. I've also lost my grandfather. But it still forces me to move from home to home to condole with our family members, our friends and village members.
Saa hii bado kijana mkubwa hapa bado yuko hospitalini kwa ICU. Pia hatujui hali yake, lakini tunaomba Mungu akiweza pata salama tutashukuru.
At the Evangelist Miracle Church, prayers were made. This church lost 6 of its members to the accident. The village now engulfed in uncertainty over the next steps.
Mwenye anaweza tushikilia mkono, atusaidie kwa hii familia, atushikilie watoto wasome, juu wameachwa mbali sana, PP1, hatujui tutaanzia wapi. Tunaomba msaada sana kwa hii familia.
Despite the waiver of all bills for the affected families, Kotombo village is deeply wounded. Here, the toll of road carnage will be etched in memory, having wiped relatives from across 3 generations. Laura Otieno, Citizen TV.
President William Ruto now says he will not be intimidated by the one-term slogans by the opposition leaders, saying he will remain focused to deliver on his promises. Speaking in Limuru, Kiambu County, President Ruto termed the one-term slogans as blackmail meant to derail him. Stephen Leto has more.
President William Ruto joined faithfuls of PCEA Joshua Matenjwa Memorial Church in Limuru constituency in Kiambu County, flanked by, among others, Kiambu Governor Kimani Wamatangi, Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, and Cabinet Secretaries William Kafogo and Rebecca Miano. President Ruto used the opportunity to affirm that his administration is at work, telling off the naysayers.
Nia yangu ni kujenga hii taifa letu la Kenya vile mulinipatia nafasi. Na nitahakikisha ya kwamba kila sehemu ya Kenya inajengwa.
Kwa mjengo kelele iko. Kama iko mahali kuna kelele ya mjengo ni hapa Kiambu. Because ile kelele iko mjengo from here Limuru to affordable housing pale Misri.
President Ruto, who later inspected the progress of the affordable housing project in Limuru, told off his opponents who have labeled him as a one-term president.
Wasitutishe na mambo ya one term. Wasitutishe na blackmail ya one term. Sisi ni watu tuko na akili bwana. Watuambie sera yao. Watuambie mpango yao. Na kama hawana mpango, watafute nchi na wananchi wa kwenda kuwadanganya.
President Ruto says his administration continues to deliver on its promises and accused opposition leaders of misleading the public.
Wanasema ya kwamba hakuna kazi inaendelea Kenya. Lakini mimi nataka nimjue ya kwamba tutasimama kidete. Na nyinyi vijana, mkimaliza kujenga hii, mimi niwapangia ingine muanze kujenga ingine hapo.
Na kelele isizuie sisi kufanya kazi. Mimi nimepawa ya ICT ya kujenga hubs za kuweka digital hubs, na kelele ikiwa bado nitasonga kuweka.
Mwaka huu, Your Excellency, by December tutakuwa tumemaliza kujenga 524 ECD schools this year in December. Saizi vile tunaongea nawe, Your Excellency, tumeshajenga 312 na tumemaliza.
Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua now says he will not record a statement with the police over terror group remarks he made while in his tour of the United States. Gachagua dismissed Kindiki's DCI probe, being the serving Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, saying he will spill the beans over the Kenyan government's involvement with foreign forces. Stephen Leto has more.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has been on the neck of the former Deputy President over what he termed as continued reckless remarks while away from home. Gachagua, who has been accusing government of building relations with terror group, now says he will not record a statement with the police as directed by the Interior boss.
I saw the Minister for Interior saying that we should be asked to help in investigations in this matter. We cannot help in any investigations because the Kenya government has not initiated any investigations against William Ruto.
Gachagua took cue following the US push to review Kenya's status as a major non-NATO ally over questions surrounding its relations with China and alleged links to terror groups' activities.
The people who have initiated investigations is the American Senate. So if there is need for us to help in investigations, we'll help the American Senate, not the Kenya government.
The Interior Cabinet Secretary, who spoke in Keyo South, Elgeyo Marakwet Saturday, slammed Gachagua over his utterances, citing that matters of national security should be treated with utmost gravity and that Gachagua should record a statement with the police upon his return to the country from the United States.
Because he has said he has information and he knows and he has an agent who is sitting in meetings with Al-Shabaab, as soon as he lands in Kenya, he must record a statement to tell us exactly which meetings he's doing with terrorists.
Gachagua raised several issues, including negotiation with abductors who took the chiefs in Northeastern, as well as the removal of vetting of new ID holders in the Northeastern region. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV.
Claims by the impeached former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua that President William Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza administration has a dalliance with terrorist organizations continues to elicit sharp reaction from government and allied leaders. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has termed his predecessor a reckless and irresponsible person, keen on bad-mouthing his country for political expediency. Kindiki says Gachagua, in his remarks while on tour of the United States, were aimed at criminalizing residents of the coast and northeastern who for years have suffered marginalization and discriminatory vetting requirements while seeking national identity cards and other documents.
Hii Mombasa katika Kenya nzima yenye kuleta na tija ya kifedha katika Kenya, sisi tuko nambari 2 baada ya Nairobi. Lakini wakati wana Mombasa wanataka kuhesabiwa, tunaitwa magaidi, tunaita watu ambao kwamba si wa Kenya. Sababu ya kwanza kwa nini tuweze kuwashinda.
Kuna mtu atakuja kwa jukwaa wachoche hapa. Mbaya yule. Kama ni mbaya, mbaya kwako, kwetu sisi ni mzuri. Kama ni mbaya, mbaya nani? Kwetu sisi ni nini?
Sasa leo tumwambie yeye ile kiburi amezidi naye, mtamuonesha, mtadili naye kama Wakenya Waislamu. Nyinyi sio Al-Shabaab, nyinyi ni Wakenya Waislamu. Ni sawa si sawa?
Na mambo ya vetting ya ID ilitolewa, na hiyo haimaanishi ati watu waanze kuongea kule wakiita watu wale wengine ati hao ni terrorists, ni majangili. That is not acceptable. Let us do decent politics.
All right, even as we take a break on Sunday Live tonight, we continue to celebrate that goal by Ryan Ogam. I'm told he's Tuskers' top scorer, and that he was also awarded top scorer in the 2024 FKF Premier League. So we take a break, but here's what you have to look forward to. Thank you for staying with us on Sunday Live. Marsabit County is one of Kenya's most drought-prone regions. Traditionally, life revolves around pastoralism, but as the dry season grows longer and water sources dry up, pastoralism is no longer a viable source of livelihood. Across Rawana and Tarbi villages, women are transforming their way of life by using drought-smart techniques to grow food and fatten livestock for sale. Marianne Nyambura now reports from Marsabit.
Marsabit County, the second largest county in the country, is predominantly arid and semi-arid. It is home to pastoral communities with a deep-rooted tradition of herding. Over the years, the harsh climatic conditions made Marsabit County vulnerable to climate shocks, especially drought and flooding. In Rawana and Uran villages, women are determined to change this, one kitchen garden at a time.
The project commenced last year following a severe drought. It was a challenging period.
They are pioneers of this new model that promises not just to feed them, but also put extra coins in their pockets. Where only dry land existed, the women are now growing food where none could before.
We have planted kale and tomatoes, which are sold, and we also retain some for our household consumption. Our earnings reach up to 15,000 shillings. Currently, both groups comprise over 50 women in total. Since then, 2 greenhouses have been established.
We are pastoralists.
Our livestock died when the region experienced severe drought since 2023. We are now relying on crop farming.
Instead of walking long distances in search of pasture, the women in groups now raise goats at home. Livestock fattening has become a viable alternative.
In February, we received a cash grant. We bought 71 goats, 50 for business and 21 others that produce milk. We continued with the business, sold 50 goats and used 200,000 shillings to buy more goats for business.
Support from non-governmental organizations has caused the dynamic shift. Residents are offered training in agribusiness, climate adaptation, saving schemes and cooperative farming.
Tukaanza kununua mbuzi ukauza mara mbili. Mara moja 29, mara ya kwanza 29, mara ya pili 35, mara ya tatu hii 65 hii.
And it's coming in the aftermath of a climate crisis, the long drought period that was experienced in 2021, between 2021 to around 2023. It also spilled a little bit over to 2024, where people lost sources of livelihood. You know, all the livelihood structures were decimated.
These efforts seek to build a drought-resilient community, one that hardly depends on pastoralism for income. Experts say time is ripe for communities in the northern part of Kenya to reimagine the sources of livelihood.
We are also living in an age and time where the traditional funders and the supporters, they are cutting down on humanitarian support. Quite a number of traditional funders are reducing or they are cutting their budget as far as humanitarian support is concerned. Recurrent drought that we have experienced, our communities are not yet out of the woods. They are not fully recovered.
As the climate crisis persists, Rawana's women are forging a path that blends innovation with tradition. While pastoralism is unlikely to end, the diversification of livelihoods led by women offers a vital buffer to future shocks. Marianne Nyambura, Citizen TV, in Rawana Village, Marsabit County. James Kariuki, Simeon Omondi, and David Kitavi are the winners of Season 1 of the culinary show, The Taste Off, that aired on Citizen TV from May and concluded on Saturday the 9th. The trio were elated as they went home with various prizes, and as you'll hear now from Marianne Nyambura, James Kariuki emerged the top performer and walked away with a cool 1 million shillings. It was celebrations at the grand finale of the culinary show Taste Off. Moments after the winner of Season 1, James Kariuki, was announced. James walked away with 1 million shillings.
My main thing is inspiration to many young chefs who are upcoming and who are there. Yeah, I want to build talents and bring up talents through what I've done, through what I've showcased.
Simon Omondi and David Kitavi made it as the first and second runners-up, respectively. Family members were there to witness their achievements.
It's about the passion I want to show to other young people out there. It's the passion I want to show to other chefs out there.
Looking at everybody and the stories and how we've grown and bonded with each other, everybody has a story and everybody has their journey on how we've grown. We've almost grown in the same environment. So competition is, will the day work for you?
From an initial pool of 400 contestants, then to 16, before picking the 3 winners.
Season 1 of 6. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you've seen some good talent and some good moments in the show. Yeah, definitely. I think it's been interesting. Yeah. It's good to see what's out there in Kenya. Sure. I mean, we've tested the waters. The guys have done well. I think it's working up lots of confidence in chefs around. What we've done with this program is sort of just show people out there in Kenya, you know, chefs are, it's a trade. Yeah, it's a trade. It's not just a job.
The Taste of Show, a culinary show, made its debut in May this year. Miriam Nyambura, Citizen TV.
A tasty win there. We go. Kenya's first homegrown online taxi hailing service has called for increased vigilance by road users in an effort to curb increased road carnage witnessed in the past week. The company that participated in this year's Park and Vibe event held at the Kirigiti shooting range in Kiambu has called on its over 10,000 drivers countrywide to avoid drunk driving while hailing rides in order to maintain the trust already built in its services, as well as to ensure that customers arrive safely to their destinations. The event brought together hundreds of startups seeking to cut their niche in the Kenyan market.
When you go to an event like this, whereby you might have 1 or 2 drinks to have, safety, so that you can get home in a good way, in a comfortable car, in a secure way. Wigo can be able to onboard any vehicle. So as a person who has not been in the business before, if you have an idle car at home or in a car yard, bring it to Wigo and start taking rides.
Welcome back to Sunday Live. Once celebrated as one of the cleanest cities in the region and home to the UNESCO-listed Lake Nakuru, the city of Nakuru is now grappling with the growing pains of urbanization. Since attaining city status, a swelling population has brought with it mounting waste, pollution, and environmental degradation. In response, the Nakuru County government, together with private stakeholders, is rolling out new strategies to manage waste, protect the environment, and create jobs. Edward Chwea was in Nakuru and now brings us this story on Citizen Planet.
The rumble and beeping of a waste collection truck in Nakuru East Sub-County, breaking the morning stillness as it winds through the estates collecting garbage. Here, service providers contracted by the Nakuru County government are on duty, part of the public-private partnership aimed at improving waste management across the county.
Ours is basically to collect waste from households, load them in our truck, segregate in the truck. On daily basis, we do about between 30 and 40 tons of waste.
Ile vitu ambao ni recyclables tunaletanga tunaweka hapa pamoja just for storage on process of transfer to recyclers.
In Nakuru City's industrial area, Mob Industries hums with activity. Here, tens of youth and women work methodically, hands swiftly separating mountains of collected waste. Piles of plastic are sorted by color and type, shredded into fragments and loaded onto waiting trucks. Their destination? Manufacturers who will breathe new life into the waste, turning it into useful products, a vital link in strengthening the circular economy and advancing the principle of extended producer responsibility.
We deal with plastics, polythenes, brown papers. We sort first. We take them to a machine. We crush. After shredding, we take the material to the washing line. Tunapack. Wanaichukua wanaenda peleka kwa material kwa machine inaitwa palletizer. And then from there, pellets zinazaunda anything, polythene, hizo mitungi, hizo vichungi na damos.
Mob Industries has not only helped manage plastic waste in Nakuru County, but has also created job opportunities for dozens of youth and women.
Per day, we get like 10 tons of plastics. We have pickers down there. They collect and they bring it here. We have 89 employees here. Most of them, we have trained them from here.
Just down the road, Texas Waste Paper runs another recycling venture, this one dedicated to paper. The facility receives waste paper from industries, offices, and even schools, giving discarded sheets a second life.
We get brown paper, white paper, polythene, plastic. We sort it, segregate it so that we can get brown paper together, white paper together, plastic together. We reduce straining the dump site because the waste that gets to us, if it is let's say we make sure we maximize the value that we get from this waste is almost 90%. In a month, I would say we collect, let's say, 100 tons of waste.
Experts caution that despite ongoing efforts to recycle plastic and enforce extended producer responsibility guidelines, plastic waste remains widespread in Kenya and much more still needs to be done.
As the world is moving towards renewable energy, the more we continue to see unnecessary plastics being produced, we need to make sure that we reduce the amount of plastics being produced. We need to make sure that we design some of the plastics that you cannot burn into being refilled and reused by making sure that you make the plastics for it to be reused in such a way that you have strong material and material that does not leach the chemicals.
Nakuru County Chief Environment Officer Kennedy Mungai says they have enacted climate action legislation to help mitigate the effects of climate change and launched initiatives to green the county.
We have Nakuru County Climate Change Action Plan that runs 2022 to 2027. The law has allowed the county government of Nakuru, led by Her Excellency Governor Susan Kehika, to set aside 1.5% of all the development budget towards climate change mitigation, environmental protection, and conservation. How we are doing it is to bring everyone on board. We shall be collecting waste and end up recycling it fully, so that we don't end up having a lot of waste in our landfill or our dump sites.
In Nakuru County specifically, we are currently reviewing the solid waste management policy, where we are also looking at the waste volumes within the county as a whole that would then be able to look at or to speak to the potential of investment in circularity and sustainable waste management practices within the city.
Nakuru residents say concerted waste management efforts are gradually improving the environment. They are now calling for more initiatives to strengthen proper waste disposal and help avert the impacts of climate change.
There's a very minimal litter around because now they have somewhere to dispose. Number two, even the environment itself now, you feel there's a fresh environment within your area. It makes the place to remain clean, which is essential for all of us. Remember, Nakuru City was the cleanest city. Nakuru, as a city, in terms of environment, we've really done well.
Edward Chweya for Citizen Planet, Nakuru County.